You want to know how to break through and get your freedom as an entrepreneur, how to potentially make millions. But 99% of businesses fail. That means that you need the piece of information that the successful businesses have that the failures don't have. There's actually one concept, one thing that separates almost all successful businesses from almost all failures. After an insane journey, we're going to share that one thing with you.
I was extremely fortunate because I managed to turn things around for myself using this one concept that separates almost all successful businesses from almost all failures. And I managed to go out, and before my 30th birthday even, I got to do everything that was on my list of things that I really wanted to do before I died. My bucket list, if you will, but I don't really like that term. I got to fly in a fighter jet and break the speed of sound. That was the thing that I wanted to do more than anything else. I got to eat at more than half of the world's 10 best restaurants, 3-star Michelin restaurants all over the world, incredible experiences. I got to buy a motorcycle with somebody that I was dating and ride up and down the coast of Vietnam, just like you see in Top Gear if you've ever seen that show. It was incredible. I've gotten to spend more time with friends and family. I've gotten to go on camping trips with them whenever I wanted. I've gotten to hang out with celebrities like Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 on multiple occasions and even work with him. I've gotten to hang out with Lindsey Vonn, multiple-time Olympian. All of this was possible because of entrepreneurship. But the thing is, it's not about me, it's about you. It's about how you can use those same concept, that same one thing that turned my life around in your business. And I know you can because it's something that effectively all successful businesses do, but effectively all failing and struggling businesses don't do. And it's really not that difficult to implement. Yes, it takes work, but when you do that work, it's really not that difficult. And the thing is, it will make all of those same things possible for you because I wasn't even a millionaire when I did those things. Which means that you can do them and you can get those same results, or you can do things very similar to that in your business for yourself. And that's incredible. That's what we're going to share with you today. And we're going to go through and jump into that starting right now.
And what is that one thing, you ask? Emu farming. They use 1/5 as much land as cattle, they're adorable, they're super friendly, and they fly. What's that? They don't fly? And they don't even fly. Their milk makes you fly. No, don't farm emus. Disregard everything he said.
So what is this one thing that basically all successful businesses are doing that basically all the failures are not doing? Is it some trick? Is it something complicated? No, it's a concept. It's a way of doing things. Effectively, all the successful businesses, whether they're Facebook or Starbucks or anybody, they're all using the tools at hand, which are different for each business, to create relationships with customers and then do that in a way that they can scale it. So they're not just presenting their products. They're using multiple exposures and a lot of time of exposure to create relationships. Now let me ask you, in your business efforts or what you're thinking about doing, do you have a way to use tools to connect with customers on a different level than all of your competitors? Because if you don't, you're one of the ones who's not doing this one thing, or you were about to be. And that's why we're giving away the first part of the book for free, because you can dive in and learn a lot about this directly. Because don't you hate it when people are like, sign up for my thing and I'll give you this free star chart, and you're like, thanks, dick, I don't need a star chart, that's irrelevant. That's not what this is. The book was long enough, we just cut off the beginning and just give it to you. Why? Because that helps form a relationship. I have a startup company. We're building a platform. We have venture capital investors. We don't need the money from this. We want to create relationships with you. That's why we would give away the first part of the book. And to make sure that you don't go down that same road that the 99+% of failures go down, because it has to be done this way. If you don't do it this way, I hate to say it, but you're screwed. If you don't do it this way, you can go out and study all the businesses in the world. If you're not doing this and you're not in a commodities business, you're screwed. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. And we don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. If you're motivated enough to be here watching this, I don't want that for you. I know some people are gonna get offended by this, but guess what? I'm not talking to you. You guys can go and watch another YouTube video. I don't really care. But for the people that do care, this could potentially change your life. And I guarantee it will change your life if you use it properly and if you engage with it and if you just do the work. That's all it takes. Knowledge, creativity, and work.
Do you really want to be an entrepreneur like this? It's all I can afford to eat today. I better save the rest for tomorrow.
Guys, the thing that you have to understand, you have to get this, is I had far less resources than you have right now. I was in a far worse place than you are right now when I turned things around and made this work. All you have to do is read the first 2 pages of the free section of the book right now, and you will see that when you hear the beginning of my story. You can do this. I know a lot of you are probably thinking he had more resources. I did not. I had less. You're probably thinking he's special. He went to Stanford. I did. And yes, I got to pick a lot of people's brains, but you know what that is? That's knowledge, which I'm giving to you. It's the only advantage. That gave me no advantage when I went out and advertised on the internet, when I sold something. The other person on the other end of the camera, they had no idea of what that means. You really do have to do this one thing, form scalable relationships with customers. We're going to go through and show you how to do that, show you how successful businesses in all areas, from YouTubers to Whole Foods, do that. So the easiest thing to do is just dive in and start showing you some of the sections of the free section that you can get right now if you just tell us where to send it. What I can go the deepest of anybody in the world on, how to form scalable relationships with your customers. The one thing that's separating all these successful businesses from all these others. And then we'll fill in the rest of that picture and help you find any resources that you need. So let's start going through it. Let's actually just show you what's in the free section, what you can get right now, and why you should be so excited about it. Why this be so impactful for you.
Well, let's actually take a look inside the free section of the book and see what you're going to be getting. Why you should be so excited about this. So the first thing we do is talk about my story. How I came from a small background and then I started a 7-figure business, and then I lost that, got completely stuck, almost went bankrupt numerous times, started from way less resources than you have, and then built that back, got out of that, figured out what was holding me back, and in the process what was holding almost all businesses back, and reached my dreams. After that, we're going to dive straight in. So we're going straight into why relationships are different in business. And we talk about that from a psychological point of view. We look at it historically in commerce throughout time, going back to farmers markets 10,000 years ago and things like that. And then we look at how that works in the real world, including how Whole Foods became such a massive business using this concept, how YouTubers on the complete opposite end of the spectrum make so much money with it. And you can imagine if a YouTuber can make a ton of money with it on one hand, an online entertainer and a store can make a lot of money on the other hand, that fills in pretty much the whole spectrum. And we're going to dive into that throughout the free section, throughout the book, and show you how to do it very specifically. And make sure also that you understand it all. So right here in the early section of the free part of the book that we'll send you right now, if you just tell us where to send it, we start going through how this actually works. So one of the first things I thought is that forming relationships with customers sounded difficult, like there must be an easier way. But when I actually dove in and learned about it rather than jumping to conclusions, I found that it isn't that difficult as long as you know what you're doing, which is what we're going through here. Now, I also found that all successful non-commodities businesses do this and all the struggling and failing ones don't, which means if you don't do it, you end up spinning your wheels and spending far more time, money, and effort trying to do other things that seem easier than just doing it the right way. So this is going to save you a lot of time and effort and make you a lot of money. Really cool subject we go into, and it was a big hang up of mine. Having gone to Stanford University, being friends with the founder of Instagram and a lot of other big companies, I had this big block where I wouldn't listen to people if their name wasn't Elon Musk or Richard Branson. I wouldn't take advice from anybody else. And then I talk about here how I found some incredible advice from people like Jeff Walker, who you've probably never heard of, but are serious business experts making a lot of money with a lot of experience, and how that is really what broke me through. So this is about who to listen to, how do you know that they're an expert, and getting past that block so that you can get the right information. All that and a million more topics in the free section of the book. You can see that's like half of a page. So each page would probably be 2 pages on a bookstore book. And you get over 75 pages. And here's another great section, how to get started. So from scratch, what's the first thing that you do? We're gonna go over pretty much everything that you need to go out and make millions right here in the free section. And then as you continue, we're gonna dive deeper into those and help you really execute those. But I guarantee there's gonna be millionaires made just off the free section of the book. So if you're not reading this, if you don't get this, you're crazy. I don't know what to say.
Guys, the biggest thing that I have to say is please don't sit around trying to reinvent the wheel. Please. That's what got me stuck. Because I'm too smart, basically. I was too smart for my own good, or at least thought I was. My Stanford education, everything. I thought I could do everything better. I thought I could do it all myself. So I sat around trying to reinvent the wheel for over 3 years, and it wasn't until I started learning from other people that I saw the error in what I was doing. So please, don't go through your own hell because you're stubborn. Don't sit around going through that because you're stubborn, because you have to do it your own way, because you know better. You probably do know better in several ways, just like I did. And there's probably other ways where you should just learn from other people. It was one of the biggest things that I had to admit and try. So don't reinvent the wheel. Again, I'm just going to give you over 75 pages, and these are full-length letter pages. So this is basically, there'd probably be like 150 pages of a book that you would buy at the bookstore. So it's basically a book. You get it for free, and again, it's enough information, there's enough value there that we just cut off the beginning. It's not like a weakened version, just cut off the beginning and just give it to you. Why? You're going to see why, because it has to do with the same thing. It has to do with connecting with the customers. The easiest thing to do is just to let you try out the book. And it's long enough that we can just give you that amount of the book. You just get started on it. It's the easiest way to do this. And you're going to see as soon as you start reading it, why I did that, why that makes sense. But don't go and reinvent the wheel. Just click, just give us the email so that we can send you the beginning of the book. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just don't reinvent the wheel. Trust that somebody with a Stanford education, who's personal friends with the founders of Instagram, and Chubbies, and Revel Systems, over $100 million company that my friend Lisa Falzone started, with all this experience, with over $500,000 in ad testing, just trust that somebody who's done that might have something for you. Just might. Worst case scenario, you give an email, you get the free section of the book, and it's not useful for you. That's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, you read it, and even what's just in the free section changes your life, changes your career. So guys, just click through, give us an email so we can send it to you, and just get started on it and see what you think for yourself. I know you're smart or you wouldn't be interested in entrepreneurship. I know you're probably stubborn or you wouldn't be interested in entrepreneurship. You're like me. But don't reinvent the wheel, just give it a try. Just give it a try. That's what changed my life, and I really, really would like it to change yours and allow you to do all the same kinds of things that I got to do as a result.